Eh.
Oh, okay. Okay, got it.
Okay.
Be with you in a sec.
Okay, let me know. Is it ready to share?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Minimize. Minimize. So I did this on my regular, this is not running through a slideshow program because I like to talk when I'm doing this. And there's going to be times that I have to dance out of this to show you a very short video, or once I show the video, it just takes me a little extra second to get back here. So my talk today is upstate New York. And I left Los Angeles and flew United all the way to Boston. And then I hopped on a little tiny commuter plane that seated 8 people with the boutique airlines. And I flew from there to Messina, New York. And then my friend picked me up, and this is the route we took. It was beautiful green, and we went through the local town from where she is, Malone. That's where the Costco is. And then we drove and got to a little lake, and it's called Titus Lake. This is her driveway coming into the camp, and they call it a camp and not a cabin. That was corrected a few times. This is the back door to the camp. And this is the inside.
Wow.
Nice.
It is so beautiful. It's just the furniture and everything was just, it was just decorated, was just such charm. And she's had this, the camp has been in the family. She's the 3rd generation, and her daughter will be the 4th generation to own this piece of property. This is my favorite place because this is where the bed was right up against this sort of outdoor porch. And these windows opened up if it got too hot, but that's the lake right there. And the hose that's on the ground is water that pumps in from the lake into the house. So it was lake water that we were bathing in and washing dishes in. And
Wow.
this is the boathouse. They built the boathouse next to the cabin there at the camp. And, it's got ample room to put all their boating gear and boats in for the winter. They can bring boats and stack them up high with a pulley system. Right off of this onto the lake is this is their private little dock, which was great fun to hang out, and it's just beautiful. This was my favorite spot. I was tethered to the dock with that huge rope, you know. I think it was the size of a shoestring, but that's all you needed. Otherwise, you would just kind of float around and go far away. So that was nice. The water temperature in the lake was 82, which was rare. Thanks. I got to swim in the lake when it was nice and warm. And something I just love is pretty much have Disney pets at the lake. Hey, these are loons, and the loons are kind of their mascot for this particular lake. And they've got 2 pairs of loons on the lake. This is the other Disney pet, and this is where I go into a movie. And this is Alvin.
He's adorable.
Really cute. So tame. Not many chipmunks get like that. He's rare, and he's been around. I think this is his 3rd year. Okay, now I have to escape from here and go past my movie here, go there, and enlarge again. One of the outings that we did, we went zip lining, which I've never done. And I thought I was looking pretty cute in my gear. I also want to say on this trip, I did something different, and I handed my cell phone quite often to someone else to take my pictures. So I have a lot of pictures of my being in this place instead of just me recording everything else. So there I'm getting ready to go zip lining. This is a group picture. This is about the time I'm saying, oh, gulp, what have I done? Am I really ready to go zip lining? But I do it. And there's 7 runs of zip lining and 2 rappels. This is about the time I was peeing my pants. It was, to me, very scary to do. I know I'm hooked in, but there's just something about letting go and go flying across with the treetops. It was pretty thrilling. And this is the time I'm about to poop my pants, because you jump off this gangplank and you just jump and you swing out, and then you free fall until about here, and then stop, and then you float the last like 15 feet gently down. That was scary for me. Hard to just go off and trust someone else to make sure I splat on the bottom. I did know they planted with grass. Maybe some people have fallen. I don't know. Okay, another day, I wanted to show you just where the dot is from the map, is the lake. And so it was about another 45 minutes to 50 minutes to Lake Placid. And we did a trip there. And Lake Placid is where the Olympians, where the Winter Olympics have been held. And so we're on Lake Placid, and the hill that we're looking at, that mountain, is where the slalom skis and the ski jump and the luge take place, up on that tallest mountain. This is downtown Lake Placid, which is just adorable. It's kind of got a Berkeley vibe to it or something. It was just so cute. And they really had support for the arts. In Lake Placid goes, they really love Canadian geese, and that's kind of their mascot for Lake Placid. And so the art around for the geese is just spectacular. And this doesn't geese, but you could just turn a corner and find art like this. It was just so beautiful, really cute little town. Then we went to the Olympic training facility, and this is where they're training kids to go down the ski jump. So it's summertime, so they're using this slick surface, and they go sliding down and they jump in the air. Now, I worked really hard for this shot. I had to shoot a lot of images to get it. So the guy really is flying and meets up with the poster where he's flying. And then when they come down, they land in water. So that's how they learn how to do the jumps and the fancy twirls and stuff coming off the ski jump. So we took a tram ride up to the ski jump, where they use these in the Olympics. And this is through the tram window. And then we get off the tram and take an elevator up to the top of the ski lift, or that's the ski jump. This is what it looks like about when you're about ready to, hang on a second. Poe, I'm babysitting one of my son's dogs. So that's the view going down the ski jump. And then I had my girlfriend take a picture of what the view is when you're at the top. I threw this slide in so you could see what the luge no, stop. What the luge looks like. This was actually from when we went zip lining, but I would get a feeling of in the mountain how that out. And so I was so inspired. I thought perhaps I could start practicing and ride the luge, but since I did not so well on the zip lining, I don't think I'll go into that as a sport. This is another day, and this is a weather station, and they collect weather data. And my girlfriend has said, I've been here so many times and nobody will climb this with me. Shall we go? So up we went. And this is where we were heading. So it's Whiteface Mountain. going to the summit. And this was the easy part. And I had about a half an hour of climbing these steps. And then it got so hard with big boulders that we were climbing over. I couldn't even shoot. I didn't even want to get my camera out. It was very steep and it was very windy. But we made it to the top, and that's the weather station there. And the view's beautiful. I was pretty tired when I was leaning on that big rock. And that's a view, another view off the other side. We had gorgeous weather the whole time. And that's my girlfriend. And then to come down, I got an elevator ride. So we had to wait in line for 5 minutes, and we took I think it took 8 minutes in an elevator going down. I'm sure beat going up. We could have taken it up, but she really wanted to hike it up, so we did. And this is in the exit. When you exit the elevator, you walk through a tunnel that's carved in the stone at the bottom of this mountain. The beautiful quote before you walk through a tunnel of stone: for a stone is when examined will be found a mountain in miniature. And there is the tunnel.
Wow.
And it's cold. Outside was hot and inside was cold and damp. It's natural water that just keeps seeping, like seeping out. And so you kind of had to watch your step. It was a little bit slick in there, but it just felt like deep refrigeration. Life on the lake is all about boating. She was the first woman that I saw in a boat when I got camp. She pulled right up and was so excited to see that my friend Terry had opened up camp. She's an old friend. Terry grew up on the lake for summers, and so did this woman. And so she comes up with these huge oars, and she handled that rowboat like a champion, man. It was really a beautiful thing to see. This is we're on a pontoon, and I didn't know what a pontoon was when I went. And they're flat boats, and they pull up the dock, and it's even with the dock. You don't have to step down like into a boat. It's a total party boat. Refrigerator. Her cousin is the captain of this party boat, and she just comes out every evening and gives you a ring. We're coming up, and we run down and hop on, and she goes around the lake like you're taking a walk around the lake. My friend Terry, everybody was jumping in. She goes, "Well, I didn't even bring a suit." She laughed and she goes, "Like that ever stopped me?" And she turned around and threw herself off backwards, fully clothed. Welcome to the lake life. This is her cousin Stacy, the one that owns the boat, and she just tours. She'll pull up to, you can just pull up to the dock and share a beer with somebody or an iced tea, and then they get on and want to do a lap around the lake. And it just, everybody seems to know everybody. There's about 80 camps on this private lake. And then dogs on the boat. Dogs and boats, then it didn't matter whose dog it was. They'd stop and pick up a dog, and they all knew the dogs. And this happened to be their dog, but it was just lots of fun to just share the boat with the dog. It was and then so they just kept the back gate open, and the dogs would just go out to the edge of it and just watch the world go by. It made me nervous at first, but they know where the edge is, and it's a very stable boat when you're going. And this old dachshund was just going to the edge too. It was just so cute. This is a neighbor's dog, Sophia. We made friends. And I can't remember Sophia's sister's name, but she was a beauty. That big black nose is just so cute. This is how the tree line is on the lake. The trees just come right down to the water. I was fascinated by that. All the lakes that I'd been on before had like beach around, and there was just forest right up against it. It was just stunning. And you come across a family. This was a beautiful beach. it was sort of yellow in color, and I think it was sort of the moss underneath or something. I did swim there. It was lovely. And then this is just like typical on a dock, you know, they're going, oh, look, Terry's in town, and what does she have with her? And everyone knows each other, but I just love this couple. And the other views that you get, I thought that was pretty sweet.
Nice.
And the boathouses, oh my gosh. Each one seems like it's got its own story, you know. It's just beautiful. The fabric that they have on the front is really to stop the birds from coming in and building nests and then pooping on the boats.
Oh,
So that's there's a reason for those. I thought, so, well, if it's going to keep mosquitoes out, I don't think that'll do it. And they were laughing at me. No, it's not. It's birds that cause a big problem with the boats. This boat is Terry's boat and my girlfriend's boat, and it's been in the family since the 50s and has always lived at the lake. And her husband had it reupholstered for her a couple Mother's Days ago. And so it's kind of the classic. Everyone knows everybody else by their boats, but we were in town and somebody said, oh, you're the ones with the red metal boat. So red metal, I guess, is the only red metal boat on the lake, but it was lots of fun. And then one of my things I never got to do is drive a boat. So there I got instructions and there I am driving the boat. We're going to do another movie. Back again. Oops, sorry. And this is what they consider to be the front of the cabin. So the front of the cabin faces the lake, and you can see the steps going up their front door. Along these windows on this side is where my bed was positioned. And then this is the boathouse. And the red and green means something in boating. And this is the driveway out. Since I brought you in the driveway, what it looks like when you're coming toward camp, and this is when you're leaving. And I wanted to end it with a picture of the loons, because they were a big part. They would call to each other all night long.
oh,
Took me a hot minute to get used to that, but then by the time I was done, it was so relaxing and nice to hear the loons. And that is my trip to upstate New York.
that's
Really
great.
nice, really great.
Amy,
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
think the right side of the boat where you say it's red
Okay.
is starboard.
Okay, that makes sense. I knew it was.
And then where the green light is called port side.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. I don't know anything about boating, so all of that was new to me.
Meaning when you pass its boat, you use where the green light is.
Oh, when you pass another boat, you
Yeah,
pass.
when
on
you
the
pass
green
our
side?
boat, just like when we were riding a car, we both drive on the left-hand side. So, you got to, on the opposite side of the river, you got to be on the same side where both yours.
Oh, when you're passing.
Yes.
And through a channel or something. Okay.
Yes.
Well, I guess on the lake, I'm not sure what that would mean, but it's pretty to have it on there.
When did you go on this trip?
I went into July.
It's pretty nice. I like it.
It was fantastic. Everybody was just so relaxed and fun. And even when we went off, into other towns and stuff, it was just, everybody's just so friendly. It was really fun.
Wow.
Their travelogue is over.
Nice. I like it.
Who am I going to go back?
Still muted?
No, now
No.
you're good.
Okay. Well, this goes back to John asking a question about the number of pixels when you have a zoom lens of going from, say, 100 to 600 or whatever. And the answer is not clear cut. If you have a camera, if you have a camera with a that you can change lenses on, the lenses that come with them, you will have all the pixels that sensor is capable of, regardless of your focal length, at least in your initial image. If you have a camera with a fixed lens and it advertises a long focal length, part of that focal length, if you look in fine print, is what they call electronic, what's the word they use? Electronic focusing or electronic zoom. And in that case, when you get out to the big number on the telephoto, you don't have quite as many pixels. And then we talked about, well, when you crop down, do you lose pixels? Well, the answer is yes. So and I just happen to have an example here. I got to tell the story. If you look on the right, you see the whole family there.
Uh-huh.
I was walking in Stanley Park in Vancouver, and I happened to come across this couple, this family picnicking, and they saw me and they were very friendly and asked me if I wanted tea or coffee. And it was very hot. So I said, no, I think I've got water. I think I'm fine. And I started talking to them, and they're from Pakistan. They moved 2 years ago from Pakistan to Vancouver. And those of you some of you may recall the very famous photograph of the Pakistani girl some years ago.
Mhm.
Well, I saw them and I thought, wow, I would love to take her picture. But I knew culturally and that it would be impolite to say to this guy, hey, let me take a picture of your wife. I did not think that would go over well. So I said, well, let me get a picture of your family. So I took that picture. From that picture, I cropped down to right here and got this picture. Now you can see it's lost some resolution because of that. But I hope that helps a little bit in your understanding of what you can do. When you do crop down, you're going to lose some resolution. You're going to lose some pixels. So that's it.
Like
That's
a good demonstration of that.
And you have 45 pixel camera with this
In
particular
my
picture?
case, it's 45, yes. And I tried to look and see oops, this one, the file size, I was a little bit surprised. Well, maybe it's because of processing. The file size on this one was 4.87 megabytes. And
if you go to the full family one, how many megabytes is that one?
this one? Yeah, this one is 2.69 megabytes. Now, I don't think this quite answer the megapixels number here is confusing. It says 5.2 megapixels on this one and 4.4 on this one. Oh, see the word enhanced?
Oh,
This double, had I not enhanced it, it would have been 2.5 approximately, half that. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
There's in Lightroom, you can enhance a photo, which doubles the resolution. Assuming there's resolution there to double. Okay.
yeah.
Any questions?
Steve, how
Yeah.
far are you from that little girl with this paddle? How far are you when you took the picture?
I was I had it was a 24 to 120 lens, and I was at, my focal length was at 33. So let's see, I guess maybe 6 feet away or so, approximately, or 8 to get them all in. So
The reason I asked is because I took a similar picture like that, but it's so dark, that, it's, and I would like to estimate, the ISO next time I take a picture like that.
the ISO in this case was 360. Of the
Maybe I can increase it
7.1
by-
and 1/200th of a second.
Rolando, do you, on the picture that you have, it's too dark.
Yeah,
Does it
it's too dark. It's about, I took it at 12 feet. That's why I'm,
Oh, but you can lighten it a lot in Lightroom.
okay.
You just use the slider for exposure, and sometimes you think it's unsalvageable, it's so dark, and all of a sudden you find out there's a lot of information that did get recorded.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to see what, now I'm kind of curious what the original, before I processed it. Yeah, see, it's 45.4 megapixels.
Wow.
And this one is, well, that again, that's enhanced.
But
So
can you go down in history? Go into develop and then look in
Yeah,
your history
right.
and see.
okay, history. Oh, because I did this from a,
Can't you just go to the first crop rectangle and see?
this is the first crop. See, I did this from a virtual copy, so now we've kind of lost all the history. Well, this is the original.
No.
So I'd have to do a little bit more research to answer that. I don't want to take the time to stumble through it. But I know what you're trying to say, and I'm kind of curious myself. So, because yeah, this one, see, we're back to enhanced. Because what I did is I made it enhanced, because I knew I was going to do this, I enhanced it and then worked from that. So, okay. I don't have one, well, I do have one. Matter of fact, I do have one where I'm at 600 millimeter and I still had to crop it down a lot. Actually, that would be easy to show. It was in, right. Oh, the day before that. Okay, here, this one, I'm at 7,500 feet, and I wanted to get a picture
And
of the hotel we were staying at, and so if I go to the original,
I took a river rafting trip down that river.
Mm.
well, that had to be a lot of fun and
Yeah.
could be scary. Well, let's see. Okay. Now we go to the develop. Oops, that's a bird at 7,500 feet. Oh, maybe not. This is from metadata. Oh, I imported it. I guess I didn't have to crop as much as I thought, but it was kind of hazy.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm at I should say here. Well, anyhow, sorry, I'd have to search for something more like what I was talking about. Where- where my option to stop share, here we go.
Okay. It's okay to close the meeting early, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.